Greetings, fellow seekers of wonder and beauty. Welcome back to our enthralling Discovering Warhammer reaction series. I'm Morend, and today we venture into the realms of grace and enigma as we encounter the ancient craftworld Eldar and the mesmerizing harlequins.
I'm not having a good time.
Ooh,
The
craftworld
first
Eldar.
playable race we have for the Eldar are the Craftworld Eldar and living in those Craftworld starships I mentioned earlier. And each of them have their own kind
They
of
look kind of dope. They look
almost like a
elvish
space
like.
legion. Each Craftworld is in itself its own special kind of group. And the Eldar themselves are very fast and rely a lot on trickery. They are squishy.
Those ships look kind of Star Wars like.
In tune as psychers. Tons of psychers across the entire Eldar population.
Loads of psychers in the
their
Eldars, and that
weaponry
makes sense
and
though.
abilities are fast and extremely hard hitting, but of course rather fragile. Understanding an Eldar's brain is an exercise in futility. They are all over the place in confusion and trickery on a whole galactic scale. They fight weird, they think weirder, and Eldar in their own right really rely on this to keep their species alive. They need to think about deception and the strangeness of what they do if they truly want to not be immediately murdered and slaughtered wholesale thanks to their entirely small population. However, I must say that
How small is the population?
Is getting slightly better. These craft worlds hold millions upon millions of people. And as they continually, reproduce and have their craft worlds expand, losing a few people in battle, while hurts a lot, they aren't really losing what's extremely precious to them. It's not like every single death means the death of their species. It seems like they're kind of on the upturn a little bit.
Those big ships, are they their craft world, so to speak?
Every time someone dies, but they are definitely doing a little bit better than they were before. Eldar are fast, cunning, and what they don't make up for in tankiness, they make up for in extremely advanced weaponry. They also call humans Monkai, which is something I mentioned earlier. That is a derogatory slur for humans in the Warhammer world.
Oh.
Why is it called
I just
Monkai?
said a slur.
Well, it's because you can't, in your game, call people monkeys. On the tabletop, exactly what I said. Not very tanky, generally pretty
racist.
Hit like trucks and move at Mach 5. Fast, hit hard, die fast. Exactly how it sounds. They've been good for a very long time, too.
They definitely look elvish there with that dude with his helmet off.
Only carry on. It is a message even a human can understand. Eldar. So, Drukhari. Let's talk about the
hello.
On today's episode,
Drukhari.
That's fucked up.
So those people I mentioned in the webway, in the super deranged cults and the depraved people of the Eldar, in the webway they didn't quite get a hold onto them. Slaanesh has them, but it has them on by the pinky finger. And they're slowly being consumed by Slaanesh, but they found out they can stave her off by doing Slaanesh things. The Dark Eldar are by far the worst, most horrifying,
oh my lord,
depraved and brutal
looks
race
terrifying.
in all of Warhammer 40k. These are entirely a group of people whose full purpose to save their species from extinction, to go into planets, raid them, and take as many slaves as they possibly can to torture them for 1, 5, 10, 20, a million years, because that torture
a million
will
years.
keep them from dying. They look very BDSM style too. They definitely have a lot more spiky bits and they have a lot more of that kind of leathery black look to them. But let's say you are an upstanding Imperial citizen, living life on a regular planet. You get invaded by the Necrons. The Necrons will shoot you with a deatomizer, and you will be destroyed in a millisecond, and that's it.
Oh.
Not the worst way to go. You are
Necrons
invaded
up
by
next, I
Chaos
think, in the next
Marines or
episode.
something. You take a bolter shot to the head or a chain sword across your stomach, and you get cut in half. Painful, but not the worst. The Orcs arrive. They beat you to death. Hurts, but, whatever. Tyranids, they eat you alive. It's pretty rough. The Dark Eldar. This is going to get a little graphic. I apologize. You pray you die. You don't. You are instead taken as a human slave. Your life will be endless work and agony, 24/7. They will make sure you can't not die, as your pain satisfies them. They will hook you up to all manner of torture devices. They will inject pain-based like stimuli drugs directly into your nervous system. They will slowly run razor blades across your skin. They will fillet you and pull out
Death by 1,000 cuts
and your
by any
fingernails
chance?
one by one. They will remove your appendages and your skin and wait for it to grow back so they can do it again. They will murder and torture and use the R word, it rhymes with grape, your entire family in front of you and do the exact same thing to them. You yourself will also be rhymes with grape anywhere and everywhere possible. And this will occur for 20 years until you are no longer satisfying to them. And then you will be contorted, crushed, and twisted into some form of trophy, a fleshy trophy, or a ring, or a couch, or a TV stand, or
I'd quite like
perhaps
to be
a
a couch.
wonderful hat, while you are, of course, still alive and breathing. And you will become a moaning, fleshy trophy for eternity. And that is what happens when you are taken by the Dark Eldar. They are the most depraved, most horrifying race in all of 40k. They look the part, and they do it so they all don't die. They are literally forced to do this, because if they don't, Slaanesh's grip will get harder, and they will have their souls pulled away. So long as they keep doing this, Slaanesh is like, you're doing good, man. You're doing solid. You keep that shit up, you elf-eared bastards.
You keep that torture up. Hell yeah.
That's the Dark Eldar. That's the Drukhari. They are horrible. On the tabletop,
So
they're actually kind of like Eldar, but more extreme. They are even squishier than the Eldar, but they hit generally even harder. Fast attacks, skirmishers, really quick, speedy, like get around them, do a lot of damage, get away kind of stuff. That's most of the Dark Eldar. Look up the definition of grim dark in a dictionary. You'll find a picture of the Dark Eldar. And Sev from Republic Commando. A quote from Mr. Vecht. We are the lords of despair, masters of terror, dread and agony are our meat and wine, and they are plentiful indeed. Dark Eldar. Let's talk about the Harlequins. Clowns.
Ooh, Harlequins.
What's the matter, Andy? Don't you want to have some fun?
The Harlequins are a bizarre race of Eldar. They're demonic clown performers. They're like a weird mix of Sander Cohen from Bioshock and Jin from League of Legends, but in a more clown theme. They're artists of death and perfecters of their craft. They do not belong to CraftWorlds or any of the weird Drukhari people. They guard something called the Black Library, which is this giant tome of never-ending knowledge deep in the heart of the Eldar webway, and also guarded by their god named Kegorok, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Kegorok.
He is the laughing god, but it's the Eldar's laughing god? And these are the Harlequins, the Harlequin clowns. These are Eldar clowns, okay? So imagine the things that an Eldar, these depraved individuals, would find funny.
That is a dope image.
And this is the god of that. It's a horror clown. These are gods of horror for us normal people. For them, they're like, oh, it's so funny. They're all dying horribly. Honk, honk. They're very bizarre and difficult to describe. They've escaped the ruinous powers of Slaanesh somehow, but their main thing is guarding that Black Library. And the Harlequins just...
Black Library?
They're demon clown performers. They're barely any models on the tabletop.
They really do look very clown-like.
They're demon clowns. I'm not sure. I got a quote. It is too easy for an Eldar to embrace the obscene virtues of chaos, for Slaanesh is nothing more than a manifestation of the Eldar mind in its most wild and unconstrained form. Human morality is meaningless to the Eldar, and to the dark side of the Eldar mind, all life is to be expended at a whim. Cruelty and generosity are but the impulse of a moment. Beauty and sensuality are virtues that can be expressed in bloodshed just as easily as in song. To an unfettered Eldar mind, there is neither sanity nor madness, but merely a wave of perfect existence fulfilled by its own savage momentum. They're very strange. The Harlequins, Drukhari, Eldar, they are an anomaly that make humans
very strange.
Seem completely easy to understand in comparison. They range from rekindling their civilization to horrifying murder and also clowns. They're all over the place, but honestly, they represent quite well and are rather interesting, especially with the whole slaanesh murder.
Does anyone actually
yeah, Eldar.
like
Now,
claim them as their faction? Well, we're gonna have to pause there, Bricky. I'm sorry, because that's for the next episode. So we've got Tyranids and wait, how long is that? That's like 4 minutes. That's like 2 minutes. So we've got Tyranids, Genestealer cults, and the Orcs in next episode. And then for the final part of this video, we'll have a big video, which will be Necrons and the Tau. Ooh, I'm quite excited for them because I've got a couple friends that like rock the Necrons and the Tau, and Tyranids. So the next couple episodes are going to be great. But yeah, the Dark Eldar, Jesus Christ! Like, if you do not want to get captured by those guys at all. Holy shit! They will keep you alive for 1,000,000 years just to keep torturing you. Like 1,000 or 10,000 times your lifespan just to keep torturing you. And then they will grape you as well, according to Bricky, which it doesn't sound great at all. It really doesn't. And as for the Harlequins, like, they're very strange. I'm gonna have to look a bit further into them at some point, because there wasn't a lot there in Bricky's video, and maybe that's just because they're not really popular. But does anyone actually claim them as their faction? Because Jesus Christ, they look like they don't offer much, really. But the Dark Eldar, they're very, very good. They're very good. It seems like they're bound to have quite a lot of backstory that I can get into. But I do need to mention the previous episode, episode 5. There was some Eldar in there, and that is why at the end of the video I'm very confused. That is just because in this bit here with the Chaos Demons and the Chaos Astrates, halfway through the Chaos Astrates it goes on to Eldar, but in the chapters it doesn't actually change, it just stays as Chaos Astrates. So I wasn't aware there was Eldar in it until I'd actually finished and edited it, because I was watching back and I'm like, he's saying Eldar. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be another faction, but I just went ahead with it anyway. And then a couple of friends of mine actually confirmed for me that they are another faction, and that it should have been a separate category. But anywho, my friends are gonna go through the videos for me in the future, just to make sure that the chapters are correct, so that I'm reacting to the right things and I'm not just a complete confused ball of emotion at the end of the video. In terms of everything I've seen so far in this journey, in the 6 episodes, I've got to say the Dark Eldar are the ones I'd probably fear the most. I would not like to be captured by them at all. Just the absolute pain that you would go through. It's just no. I could imagine as well that if you tried to, like, you know, commit, you know, it wouldn't go very well for you. They'd probably be able to fucking resurrect you or some shit, and then probably end up torturing you for another like 100,000 years or something. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. And like I said, the next episode is Tyranids, Genestealer cults, and the Orcs. and that should be out for Tuesday, hopefully. I'm going to be actually recording it on Tuesday because I'm working Monday. So keep a lookout for the community posts on my channel, and I will keep you updated there if there is going to be any delays. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I am pushing for YouTube partner, so every subscription counts. If you have friends that you think might enjoy this content, then please do send it to them as well, and hopefully they can subscribe. The midway point for the partnership is 500, and the actual full partnership is 1,000. So we're pretty close to getting to 500. I think I'm on 390 subs at the moment, so 110, and we'll be there. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.